First, do you have an update on Coxall?
He's just day to day. He's not making the trip with us, but like again, I don't think it's anything major, but day to day, and we'll see when we get back from our bonding trip.
So the level of concern hasn't.
No, definitely not. No, there's nothing.
And Artemi Panarin was out there. Is the plan for him to sit again tonight?
Yeah, he's not playing again tonight.
Do you think he'll play again this preseason, or?
Oh yes, you're going to see. I think after tonight, you'll pretty well see our full team for the next 2 games. Pretty real close to it, if not, it'll be real close after tonight. And that was the plan all along.
So it sounds like you pretty much picked the team, and this you just have to get through tonight. You picked the team already, and then you just have to kind of get.
Well, I think if you really look at it, the team was pretty close to pick, like every other NHL team 3 months ago, 2 months ago. So no, I mean obviously we talked about playing for jobs and playing for battles, and there's 23 spots on your roster, and probably 21 of those spots are already taken before we started. Everybody knows that, and then that's the way it works. When you got a salary cap and contracts, that's the way things work. But and there's always a couple jobs, and impress us, play well, and get an opportunity to take a job, and that's what you're hoping for.
Zibanejad last night was talking about how even if you lose 7-1 in your backyard, you're pissed. I'm curious, what do you say to the team in the locker room after a loss like that, preseason or not,
Yeah, no, you're not happy about it. I mean, nobody was happy about it last night after the game was over. But again, it's preseason. You got to move on. You got to get ready for the important date, the first game against Washington. So nobody was happy. Hopefully, you get better from that, and you take a little kick in the butt from that, and get better from it. But no, we weren't happy about it at all, and you shouldn't be.
When you look at Lundqvist, right, who's a guy, first-round pick, came over to defenseman of the year. He has to adjust to the small rink. How is he doing from what you've seen?
No, he's adjusting, and he's getting better. He's a skilled, talented kid, and it's like if you judge him from last night and the whole team last night, we played way too much in our own zone. We turned pucks over, but he was okay. He wasn't too bad. He played fine in a game like that. So you're just going to keep getting better and give opportunities out there, and hopefully they grab them. Hopefully he's ready, but if he's not ready, then that's fine too. He's a young player. He's got to get better. He's got to be around pros. He's around a lot of new teammates. So there's a lot going on for a young kid like that, and obviously a lot of pressure. He wants to make the National Hockey League, and it's not easy to do that.
Sorry if I missed anything, but just curious to hear your thoughts on what you identified as the biggest issues from last night.
Last night we turned too many pucks over. More than anything, the 2 blue lines were tough areas for us last night. We didn't get out of our zone cleanly at all, and then in the offensive zone, we tried some hope plays that didn't work out, and we turned too many pucks over in the offensive zone, and it led to transition for them. And they got 2 or 3 goals off the rush, and then 2 or 3 goals from D zone coverage where we made mistakes.
You obviously had a plan going in for these 2 games. Did you change anything after what happened last night? Is there anybody playing tonight that wasn't going to play before last night?
Well, obviously the Krabby was going to play both, but then he got hurt. So it wasn't that, me and Drew sat down with the staff and we make sort of the lineup 2 days ago and look at it. And there's a change. There might be 1 or 2, but not many. Not many. It was pretty much set the way we wanted it.
So when you were looking at like Kravtsov or whoever is playing back-to-back nights, is you want to see how they respond playing 2 nights in a row, or is you want to get
no, we want to get some numbers down, obviously, but they're young guys that he better be able to play back-to-back games, and give us a showing in that. So no, obviously we're not going to play some of the veteran guys in back-to-back games for obvious reasons, and Panarin, he doesn't have to play those games. He'll probably play at least one of the next 2, and guys like that. So, but the young guys, they want to play. They want to get in those games. They want to get involved in those games, and they want to get better.
Did I miss, a Kravtsov update?
Yeah, you missed it.
Sorry, you can't know. He's here today.
Well, on the, because you mentioned Lundqvist, you talked about how you feel like the top 2 defensive pairs are set. So it sounds like if anything's up in the air, it's that third pair. A couple questions on that. First off, is Patrick Nemeth, considering you guys went out and got him this season, did you expect him to be on that third pair? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And so it's more of a competition, you would say, for the other side? And how do you view that competition right now? We talked about Lundqvist, but I know you've mentioned.
Everybody that's still on the board is still available, you know, so that's basically what it is. I mean, we went out and did some things in the summertime, and obviously there's an opportunity for some of those guys to take, you know, one of those spots.
Is Lundqvist the front runner right now? Is that fair?
That's not fair.
No.
There's a bunch of guys right there. There's a bunch of guys right there for that spot.
Is, Zach, if Zach Jones is one of those, right? He's played on the left exclusively so far.
We're not worried about left or right because Nemeth can go both sides, so we're not worried about that at all. For this situation,
Right.
yeah.
So, Jones played on the right last year too. Do you feel like he can do both?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know exactly where he played last year. I mean, maybe he played a little bit of right, but
But you'd be more inclined to move.
you're more inclined to move a veteran
Yeah.
defenseman over there than a young kid. Let them feel comfortable. Same as Laffy and the left wing stuff like that. I mean, sometimes you move them over for more ice time and more opportunity, but you'd like to know where the kids feel more comfortable, and that's the biggest thing with those guys coming up.
What have you seen, and I'm sorry, I have to ask you a goalie question.
So,
What have you seen from your goalies, from Igor and from Alex, and you know, in terms of where your comfort level is?
No, I'm 100% comfortable with our goal. I know our goaltending is really strong. Like, it's easy to look after a 7-1 loss last night saying, oh, they got to be better. It's early in training camp. Goalies have, you know, they come back, they get over here, they get on their routine. So, not concerned at all. I love our goaltending. I think it's going to be really strong, and I know it's going to be real strong.